Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, and all the droids across our beloved empire. It's your favorite loud Star Wars guy, aka the Grand Admiral, Director of Video Game Division here at the Galactic Empire, home of the Kyber Club, open 25 for one extra day of partying hard. You guys know the drill. Welcome to today's video where we got something I hope will be helpful. I put a lot of time into it, but we are ranking all of our Zetas. Not a lot has happened in 2022, but it's definitely a good amount of time that has passed since the last time we made this video in January 2022. Bit of a slow year, but now we're kind of getting some stuff I'd like to talk about here. And as always, thank you guys so much for your unending loyalty. 3 billion likes last time, and I'm hoping we're moving in the right direction with our Zetas ranks. As you guys know, I love to do all Zeta ranking to help you guys figure out the best way to invest your resources, and Zetas are huge. And as we know, we've always ranked them in individual categories, and we rank the order for each character. I had a few requests asking, can I do a guide that shows the Zeta order for factions? So let's say you're investing in, I don't know, let's say Imperial Troopers. You want to know what's the order you should be investing in the Zetas for that particular team. So we spent quite a few hours putting this together. Hopefully this is helpful, or else it's a complete waste of time, because in a way this kind of mirrors what this is supposed to be, but maybe it's helpful to have more of a finite specific view of a particular faction. Just to kind of explain how this works, top priority means it's basically a must-have to get the team functioning. Second priority is not necessary to get the team to perform, but it's still really dang good and you're going to want to have it. Third priority is like, it's kind of nice, the cherry on top type of stuff. And then some categories you'll see low priorities where, yeah, they got a Zeta, but you don't really need it. It's not even a cherry on top. It might be barely even sprinkles on top of the ice cream sundae. So hopefully this is helpful. If you find it helpful, let me know. If not, I'll stop doing it. But I think this might be helpful to have more, because there's not a lot of guides that show faction Zetas and the order to go about it. On that note, why don't we go ahead and just kind of talk about what has changed since the last time we made this video back in January 2022. Couple of additions since the last time we talked about this. We had Boba Fett sign of Django. We had Inquisitors, which really didn't make a huge impact until Grand Inquisitor came to make a mild impact. We had a couple of random things like Shorty, for example, Cursanthin, and a couple of things that are swaying around in a couple of different categories here. One thing to note, I do not integrate Omicron viability into Zetas because, for example, Zam Omicron's great, but the Zeta's not so great. And if you're not going all the way to the Omicron, I don't want to let that skew the data, but we do have Omicron ranking videos if you need Omicron assistance. Card in the top right hand corner to our more recent Omicron ranking video. Looking into our Kyber branch of Zetas that we have here, only really two notable changes in this particular category. Number one, Darth Malgus is here in Galaxy of Heroes. Probably the biggest thing that's happened in the past 6 or 7 months of Galaxy of Heroes. And there's only a couple of Zetas on him, but the must-have is Dark Deception. It's more or less the insta-kill. It scales with the more relics and gear you're putting into the character, the more damage it's going to do. So kind of the big ability to Darth Malgus, alongside his very durable kit that he has. And we moved up into the list, Beskar Armor Mandalorian's Protective Intuition. This Zeta has been kind of important. We've been using quite a lot to counter Lord Vader's without the need of Omicrons on a bounty hunter team, which is pretty nuts. Constantly being able to use Wonder of the Force to put damage immunity on your scoundrels is kind of a big deal. So this is probably the most used out of Beskar Mando, is just being there to support his team with constant damage immunity. Otherwise, not a very busy year, not a lot of stuff moving in and out of this category. I think we're kind of in the same spot, but let's move on to the next category where we're going to probably have a little bit more to talk about, and that's the Aurodium tier. Now this is where a lot of the stuff that we've had this year is going to fall in. A couple of Inquisitors, Shorty, Admiral Radis. This is where we're going to see a lot of very helpful things here. And as at the very top, we have Shorty. Quite an interesting character for the droids. Some plug and play viability as well with this character, but Sabak Shuffle's really nice. It's kind of it's almost like a BB-8 type ability where you're going to kind of juice up your team and get them going off to the races. So Sabak Shuffle, a really nice solid addition to the Aurodium category, and mainly her job is to kind of make droids a more identifiable team, whereas before they would only be a team of Grievous decides to show up. Now they have someone to lead them 24/7 on the team here. Admiral Radis, big boost to the Rogue One, and as we know, Admiral Radis is getting a capital ship, so these Zetas are going to increase the speed of the ship. So you're going to most likely want both Zetas on Radis just for the ship, but Inspiring Maneuver is kind of the big thing for the Rogue One faction. The Rogue One, not a lot of stuff going on with them, but with Inspiring Maneuver, you're able to get some really big plays going. And again, kind of important to, you know, get the team going, or else otherwise Rogue One's not moving to a lot of places. I wanted to move Trandoshan Rage up a little bit because it's actually becoming more important than the lead, in my opinion. Boss, again, one of the best tanks in the game, staple to bounty hunters and scoundrels, and Bosk is kind of critical for going up against Lord Vader and a variety of other stuff. You want that taunt to stay up as long as possible, so Trandoshan Rage is going to be the way to go. Darth Malgus is another new addition to the list here. It's the one on his basic ability, Unfettered Rage, which allows him to keep increasing his max health over time. And again, the more max health you're getting, the more durable and the more damage they're going to be putting out there. Proven Loyalty, Darth Talon. Darth Talon's becoming more important with the addition of Darth Malgus. Wasn't really an important character for her. It was just kind of like, all right, she's there. She does something, but Proven Loyalty is going to be a lot more important. With that unique ability, she's feeding a lot of extra bonuses to the team. With that, we already know Talon feeds a lot of stuff, like extra speed, durability, offense, but getting turn meter when you're hitting the leader is important. And Darth Malgus is a leader Sith that's also a tank. And when you're forced to hit him because he's taunting, you're getting turn meter to your Sith Empire. So we're upping her from Chromium up to Aurodium. Now scrolling down a bit more, Grand Inquisitor. It's kind of funny. Not a lot of, usually when a legendary comes out, all their, like at least a couple or all their Zetas are like Kyber tier Zetas. Grand Inquisitor's not making a huge impact on the game right now. It's just an all right character. It feels like a marquee level team, even though it's supposed to be a legendary based character. But pretty much all the Zetas I'm putting in the Aurodium tier. You kind of need them if you want to get anything going for your Inquisitors, or else they're kind of not doing a lot. They're doing a lot, but they're doing nothing. It's a death by 1,000 cuts team. And then otherwise, no other major changes to the Aurodium category that we have here. Moving on, let's keep this train chugging along. We have the Chromium tier here, and we're going to kind of see a couple leftovers, some shorty Admiral Redis as well, the second tier Zetas to their kit, and you know, a couple of Inquisitors in this spot as well. Wait till we get to the Carbonite tier. You'll see a lot more Inquisitor action over there. Shorty, her second part, spare parts, is, you know, just giving her a little bit extra speed. It's not necessary, but it's still a nice cherry on top to make her even better. Same thing of Admiral Radis, basically getting that spark of the rebellion thing going for the Rogue One squadron on his special ability is nice, but again, it's not 100% necessary. You definitely want to get the other Zeta. Both of it's on a Django. One Zeta Conquest character. I was tempted to put this in Bronzium, but when he's getting the critical hits, he's getting his momentum going, right? He's just that weird character. It's kind of in a void because there's so many good bounty hunters that exist out there. But I'll be nice. I'm putting in the Chromium tier. It's not a necessary Zeta, but especially if you're going to use it in territories that they only cry, you might as well put it on the guy since you're going to be using him. And there's not a lot of Zetas worthy of the Chromium tier for the Inquisitors, but there are a couple here. 8th Brother's Bladed Hilt gets you the extra armor shred. 5th Brother gets you the stun, damage immunity, all that fun stuff. 9th Sister has the ground pound, which is basically the unresistible days attached to her kit as well. Those are really the only ones I find that are kind of up there. I mean, even you can make the argument that 8th Brother should be knocked down a little bit. It's actually fun. If you go check out the Inquisitorious recommendations I give you guys here, I actually don't rank Bladed Hilt nearly as high. Mainly because on this list I kind of look at overall viability, but then as you go into more of the niche nitty-gritty details, 8th Brother's Bladed Hilt, yeah, the armor shred is nice, but he's not really going to be used for the team once you get Grand Inquisitor. And kind of like with Second Sister, I don't have her ranked in Chromium. Maybe I should. I put her a little bit down more. Obviously, you're going to be primarily using 7th Sister with Inquisitors, not so much with generic Empire stuff, although you could. So hopefully that makes sense here. And then moving on, let's actually do that. Let's go move on over to our next category and showcase what we have here, which are going to be your Bronzium based Zetas. And just kind of moving down, as you see, we have the Second Sister Zeta, 7th Sister Zeta. Although in the grand scheme, 7th Sister Zeta is not going to be as useful as 8th Brother or the others. You're going to probably want to have this as one of the must-haves for the Grand Inquisitor team out there. Same thing with Second Sister, although I don't rank it as high because her Zeta doesn't have overall crazy impact on the game. But when you go into the team, some Zetas are a bit more important to invest. And that's what I'm hoping for, is that, you know, the individual factions will make this a bit easier. You guys to decide how to go about particular teams. Wampa, we're moving it up just a little bit, just one tier up. If you're going to have the Wampa Omicron, both Zetas are a must, but Furious Fellow getting the unresistible healing immunity. You know, again, even if you are going to just get the one Zeta, the other one, might as well just throw both of them on. Kind of nice to have it on them. I did a little moving down. Asajj Ventures, a lot of you guys discussed last time in the 2022 January video. I kind of agree, you know, you're most likely using Mother Talzin. There's not a lot of reasons to have Night Sister Swiftness. They moved it down. Also moving Aura Singh's game plan down. You shouldn't be needing to put any Zetas in this character, so we're moving it down. I guess that's a good thing. You don't need Zetas to get all the use out of Aura Singh. You just need her leadership ability, and that's it. Otherwise, not much else is going on in this tier, but we do have one more we want to talk about, and that's going to be the Carbonite branch here. And couple of Inquisitors, here's the thing, please. There's really not a lot of reason to invest in the Zetas on these leads, yet alone, please don't put the Omicrons on the Inquisitor lead. We originally thought that CJ was going to create a Grand Inquisitor that would combine all the leads, and that would have maybe enticed people to invest in more of these leads. There's pretty much no reason. I mean, maybe if they got a ship, but 9 Sister, 7 Sister don't have ships, their Zetas don't really add a ton. You're better off just staying away from the Zeta. Save it for something a bit more meaningful. And then Chrysanthemum's the new addition to the Carbonite tier. I will say, next time I make this video, whenever a couple months down the road, if Galaxers gets a bit more upbeat, I suspect Chrysanthemum will be ranked a little bit higher once Jabba the Hutt comes in the game. As of now, it's really tied to the Hutt Cartel, and the Hutt Cartel is not really good, but I expect the Hutt Cartel to get reworks, Omicrons, and Jabba the Hutt. This is probably going to bump up quite a bit down the road, but we'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and Droids, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully this is helpful in not just ranking the Zetas. Hopefully it wasn't a waste of time. You guys let me know, going through all these different factions and showing you the must-have Zetas if you're going to invest in a particular faction, to make sure you're getting the most out of them and doing it in roughly the right order of upgrading Zetas. And on that note, I'll pass the ball over to you guys. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. Let me know if you'd make any changes to this list. I always look at your guys' feedback and say, yeah, you guys are right. Let's make some adjustments. So you guys keep the lights on 25/8 and keep me going as well. And hopefully I give you enough energy and power to always say how it's great to be in the Empire today.